My name's Ellen, I'm the editor of The Phoenix and we brought out our first issue in October. I'm a third year student studying BA journalism at University of Glamorgan. I can't remember the moment I decided to be a journalist. I think when I was around 8 years old, somebody explained to me what they do in newspapers. From just then, I was just decided that I was obviously going to be a journalist. And from then on, it was just a matter of time of when some newspaper would finally let me work for them. It doesn't feel to me like hard work at all. Like, you just enjoy it so much that it's never an option to not do journalism. We haven't had a student newspaper here for ages. Lots of people have tried it before and it hasn't been successful, but we kind of decided at the end of our second year that it was getting a bit ridiculous and we needed to get our act together. One thing about The Phoenix is that it's really strongly based on everything that I don't like about newspapers. So any of the placements that I went on, if there was something I picked up on that I didn't really like, or I kind of wondered why newspapers were still doing this, that would go into The Phoenix. The first issue, I think, went well. I think that it was an achievement to make a newspaper, but what we're trying to do now is make a really, really good newspaper. At the start of the month, we're usually dealing with distributing last month's paper. While that's going on, we have a big meeting where we go over everything that we screwed up on in the issue before, and we talk about how we're going to change that. The first week and the last week are the most exciting, because in the first week you have absolutely no idea what the newspaper is going to look like. Everyone is pitching ideas, we're trying to predict what's going to happen that month. From there, once we get the ideas together, we start putting kind of a page plan so we can see what everything is going to look like. In the second and third week, they're kind of the worst weeks because they're the weeks where you're trying to arrange interviews with people. Sure, my name is Ellen Coyne. I'm a reporter from The Phoenix, which is a student newspaper in Cardiff. You're trying to set up photo shoots. You're trying to come up with design ideas for what certain stories and features are going to look like. In the last week, things are starting to be put on the pages, you're starting to get reaction from the stories that you're doing, and you can finally see a newspaper coming together. That is the week that you have to stress the most, but even though it is the worst week stress-wise, it's definitely the most fun. So for one of the main stories in The Phoenix this month, we've done an investigation into a company who are making a lot of money from trying to persuade Glamorgan students to pay them to do their assignments for them. You can pay them like 40 quid to do like a 500 word piece for you, or if you go up to about £2,000 they'll do your entire dissertation for you. I posed as a first year student and we made up this fictional assignment and paid them to do it for us. So we're going to make a phone call to them now and hopefully we're going to get them explaining that I, as this fictional first year student, I'm totally allowed to hand this in pretending that it's my own work. I was just wondering if I could call to just check a couple of things I'm kind of worried about.
No problem.
Okay, I know you've got it like all over your website, but is there any chance at all that I'm going to be caught for plagiarism if I hand this in?
If you hand it in as your own work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and we own the copyright to the paper.
So, what was the point in me paying to get it done?
Because then you've got it as a guide to write your own paper.
So we just called the company and it didn't go as planned at all. We do genuinely believe that that's not the intention of this, so we're going to have to try and find another way. We'll figure something out though, we'll figure out a way to save it. We had to take the plunge and go independent, which meant being completely by ourselves, not having support. So that was a pretty big deal. I think there is a danger sometimes that people think that the Phoenix has some sort of weird agenda where we just get up in the morning and think, who are we going to piss off today? That's obviously not what we're doing. We have had a little bit of trouble setting it up with the press office, which is to be expected because obviously we're not always going to do stories that they like. They're not like a normal press office. They're a press office at the university where we're expecting to get our degrees. So they're not dealing with us the way that they deal with normal journalists, and we're not dealing with them the way that we would deal with a normal press office. So that's been a big problem. Hopefully we can maintain a kind of professional relationship where they understand why we're doing what we're doing and we understand why they're doing what they're doing. Other things are kind of fun problems, kind of like problems that every newspaper has, like a story falls flat in its face kind of 2 days beforehand, an interviewee collapses, all that sort of stuff. But weirdly to us that's not problems, it's kind of part of the fun. After we found out that Ivory Research are obviously really prepared for investigations like what we were trying to do, we were kind of panicking and thought the story would just disintegrate before my very eyes. But by some miracle of journalism, we managed to find a student who paid £3,000 for an assignment from this company and totally failed it. And we also got a couple of interviews.
It's clear to me that they're providing this as something that a student could just pick up and submit. It's pretty shocking that they're targeting University of Glamorgan students, but it isn't unique. I'm sure it happens at all other universities, but I'd like to stress that if any students are thinking about using this service, they're only cheating themselves.
I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. I wish I'd just done the work myself. I paid about £3,000 and I wasn't happy with it at all. It was a bag of shit. Overall, I failed the work, and when I contacted them about it, they ignored me and wouldn't offer me anything else, so I was really annoyed. However, they still send me emails offering to do my work for me again, but they still won't reply to any of the emails I send them. I think it's a con.
I think I've got them kind of pinned now. It started off as a massive pain in the arse. It's ended up being, I think, my favourite story. I kind of like that the Phoenix is kind of made from scratch and kind of put together, and we never have any money and we only have one news reporter and we only have 3 people doing page layout, because I don't know, when I look at the newspaper and it looks like a really professional newspaper, it's just like, Jesus Christ, we made that just a bunch of students doing it in their spare time, and it worked out. This week, as expected, everything went wrong. So many things just turned to shit before my very eyes. Like a weird masochism or something to really enjoying the the stress and the awfulness of the last week. As soon as I see someone reading the newspaper, I'll just completely forget all over again. It's like a woman going through a really horrific labour and then getting pregnant again. I'm gonna do it again next month when the next paper comes out. So it should be okay. I think I'd rather have the Phoenix like this than have it as some big polished, really rich student newspaper. I'm so happy. I can't wait to like just get it in people's hands and see people reading it. I'm over the moon. I can't remember the last time I was this happy. I feel, oh my god, I really want to just go in now and just give it to people and see what people think. When I saw the Phoenix at the print press, it was actually just like absolutely massive relief. So that's all we can do now. So we're gonna hand it out to people and I really hope that everyone likes it.